Hello to all and welcome to another of my tutorials, which today is going to be about group policy in Windows Server 2008. Now, group policy is a set of rules that manages the working environment of user and computer accounts. In other words, group policy controls what users can and cannot do on a computer system. That is, restricting certain actions that may pose potential security risk. Example, blocking the usage of Task Manager or Control Panel, or disabling the ability to add or remove programs, etc. So let us begin. Now for this tutorial, I'll be configuring the policies that concern Control Panel, and also I'll be doing some desktop management. I'll be using the server, Windows Server 2008, and also my free clients, Windows 7. As you can see, the Control Panel is accessible on this machine. I also have Vista, the same thing here. I also have Windows 7, the same thing here. I can also change desktop, as you can see. I can also change the desktop on Vista. And with Windows 7, it's changing on its own. So I'm going to back to the server. I'm going to click Start, Administrative Tools, and selecting Group Policy Management. I'm going to expand the forest, expand the domains, expand the domain name aaronidle.com, and I'm going to firstly edit one of the existing policies. So I'm going to right click on the default domain policy and click edit. Now we have two options here really. We have the computer configuration, which sets policies that are applied to computers regardless of who logs on that particular machine. And we have the user configuration. This sets policies that applies to specific users regardless of which computer they log on to. So I'm going to choose the user configuration, and I'm going to the policies. I'm going to expand administrative templates, click on Control Panel, and I'm going to access the policy here, where it's to prohibit access to Control Panel. As you can see, it's not configured. Double click. One thing we should look at is what versions of Windows is supported on. When it says at least Microsoft Windows 2000, this tells me that it would work on any versions of Windows after this version here. So it should work on XP, Vista, and Windows 7. Another thing you should do is to go to the Explanation tab and read the explanation of the policy that you're going to configure. As you can see, this setting prevents Control execute the program file for Control Panel from starting. As a result, users cannot start Control Panel or run any Control Panel items. It also removes Control Panel from the Start menu and the folder from Windows Explorer. If users try to access Control Panel, a message appears explaining that the setting prevents this action. So I'm going to enable this, click Apply, click OK, and we'll check back on that a little later. So close this off, and now I'm going to create a new group policy. So I'm going to right click on Group Policy Objects and click New. I'm going to name this policy Wallpaper Control. Click OK. If you expand Group Policy Objects, then you'll see that policy is right here. Right click, click Edit. Right click right here, check properties, and you can write a little comment of what your policy is all about. So this sets the same wallpaper for all domain users and prevents them from configuring. Apply, okay. So from here I'm going into the user configuration, policies, administrative templates. I'm going to expand desktop, check desktop. I'm going to check desktop wallpaper. As you can see here, the setting lets you specify the wallpaper on users' desktops and prevents users from changing the image or its presentation. Okay. I'm going to click enable. Now what I'm going to do now is to create a shared folder and place my own wallpaper so that all the users who log on the server will have the same wallpaper. So I'm going into my computer on my D drive and create a new folder and name it wallpaper. Into my documents, to the wallpaper that I chose, paste it into the folder. I'm going to right click, share the folder to all domain users. I'm going to leave it as reader. Click share. And here's the fully qualified paths. Double / server - 2008 wallpaper. So I'm going to take that information and type it in the wallpaper name. Server - 2008 wallpaper. /Erenido .jpg. I'm going to set my wallpaper style to stretch and click apply, click OK. Now I'm going into control panel, again expand, click on display, and I'm going to enable a few of these, prevent changing wallpaper. I'm going to enable this one, click apply, OK. Hide the desktop tab, enable this one, click apply, and finally remove display in control panel, click enable and click apply and click OK. Now I'm going to return to where wallpaper control is. Right click, check the GPU status, as you can see is enabled. Now I'm going to link this wallpaper control policy to the domain. So what I can do is left click and drag it to the domain name. Now it's going to ask, do you want to link the GPU that was selected to this domain? Click OK. As you can see here, the link is enabled, but it's not yet enforced. But before we get to that, I'm going to just run through these tabs here, details. So you can see the domain name, the owner, when it was created. You can see the GPU status is enabled and the comments right here. Settings. settings shows you exactly what policies were configured. As you can see, hide desktop tab, prevent changing wallpaper, etc. Also the desktop wallpaper which was enabled, and the wallpaper that I'm going to use as my wallpaper for my domain. These are the groups and users who have specified permission for this GPO. Okay, nice. So we go back here. Now there are two ways that we can enforce this policy. We can either right click on the domain name and select enforce right here, or click on start, go to command prompt and type in the following: gp updates space / force, and click enter. Okay, right, the user policy update has completed successfully. So now I'm going to restart the Windows 7 client, the Vista client, and the XP client. So I'll be logging on the XP client first. And as you can see, policy settings have been enforced. This is the wallpaper that I've chosen, as you can see, aaronidle.com. Let's see if I can change the wallpaper. Oh, it has been blocked. Let's try another method. Right click, set as desktop background, nothing is happening. So let's see if the control panel function is working. Also has been blocked. The operation has been cancelled due to restrictions in effect on this computer. Let's check the start menu. As you can see, the control panel option has been removed. Let's try another method here. Control .exe, enter. Blocked again. So let's check the Vista client now. Password. And again we can see the same similar wallpaper that was on the XP, aaronidle.com. Let's try to see if we can change. Oh, it has been blocked. Let's try another method. Right click, set as okay, that's not working. As you can see, the control panel icon has been removed from the desktop and also from the start menu. So let's move on to the Windows 7 machine. Oh, and we can see here the same thing is happening. Oh, the control panel icon is still there, but still no effect. It has been blocked also. Let's try to change the wallpaper. That has also been blocked. Okay, so one more thing I need to show you. I go back to the server, and what I'm going to show you now is how to create an organizational unit. Now we can do it from this window here by right clicking on the domain and selecting new organizational unit and type in a name, or you can right click on the domain name, and here you have a link straight to Active Directory users and computers, and from here you can basically do the same thing. Go on new organizational unit, some units. Leave this checked. This is to protect your container from accidental deletion. And click OK. And then you can right click on a unit and click on your user, some user, some user. Next, I'm going to put in a password. Click next, finish. So we'll go back and we will refresh this page. So here I have my organizational unit called, that I've named the sum unit. So I'm going to right click, click on link existing GPU, and I'm going to set the wallpaper control policy to this unit. I'm going to right click and click enforced. So you want to change the enforce settings for GPU links, click OK. So I'm going to log out the XP machine. And log in as some user. Right, so organizational units has been affected the policies of the wallpaper control. Also, as you can see, the control panel policy has also been enforced. Okay, so that brings me to the end of my tutorial. Thank you again. This is Nigel Doyle, and I'm out.